going live on YouTube and Facebook. We're live on YouTube and Facebook now, and then we've just got to see Instagram. We're live on Instagram. Good morning if you're joining on Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to Wednesday morning. A little bit more focus on movement as always on a Wednesday, but obviously, and I say this every week, guided by the breath. If we're doing anything that feels uncomfortable, that is painful, then you just stop. So any joint issues, don't push it, don't force it. I want to focus a little bit more on the spine. I'm gonna have to put another light on because it's quite dark here actually. Focus a little bit on the spine today, on strength and flexibility of the spine. So as always, we'll start off with some mobility, some easy mobility, just to warm things up, starting with knocking on the door of life, taking your feet shoulder width apart, tall through the spine. Remember, focusing on crown of the head connecting to the sky, feet connecting to the ground, ball of the foot, the bubbling spring connecting into the ground, but also the heel, and then rotating with that movement from the hips and the waist. And just breathing easy in and out through the nose. Let me just rearrange that light. It's a very dark, dull, grey, wet morning here. Just keeping the shoulders down, bringing awareness between the shoulder blades. And now slowing it down, water waves. Still keep that idea of tall through the spine. And then come to rest for a moment. Bring your feet hip width and just standing tall. Soften into the ankles, the knees. And then we're going to step out. We're going to go about shoulder and a half width apart. We're just going to move the hips so that hip stays parallel to the ground, but that knee bends and goes over the toe there or over the ankle there. And then we're going to glide to the opposite side. We're going to keep parallel to the ground. So just get that movement going. Be nice and wide through the hips. Obviously, if you've got any pain or any problems with the hips, just take it easy or go a little bit narrower. But the wider we go, the comfortable you are with the width, that's what we're aiming for. I am not tilting the upper body. That upper body stays upright on top of the hips. That's the starting point. So we're moving from the hips and the waist. And now we're just going to add that knocking. So really push into the ground, use the legs, use the glutes to drive you from side to side. Keep tall through the spine. And also keep the pelvis and keep the hips square to the front. So I'm not doing this. I'm not bringing the hips forwards. I'm keeping the hips square to the front. So you're actually getting rotation in the leg, in the femur bone there in the leg. So the hips are rotating, but you're not doing this. So the spine is rotating. Keep tall through the spine too. Lovely. Using the legs. And then slowing it down. And then just walking your feet back in and giving your legs a little bit of a shake out. If you need to shake your legs out, shake your arms out. Let's go back to shoulder width apart. Slight turn out. Tilting back. So we're going almost like a 16th of a squat. I'm just about to sit in the chair behind me. We're going to keep in that position. Remember, we're tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. We're not coming up and down from this. So we're getting that tilt through the pelvis forwards and backwards. Tilting so you're spilling out the back of the pelvis there, tilting so you're spilling out the front of the pelvis there. As we're spilling out the front of the pelvis, we're opening up, we're lifting our heart towards the sky. As we're tilting towards, spilling out the back of the pelvis, bringing the elbows together, rounding, curling up into a little ball. Spinal cord breathing. Here we breathe with the movement, so that's a breath in as you expand. And then a breath out as you curl up into that little ball. And that breath is still very quiet, it's soft, not over breathing, not breathing too much air. And then find your own rhythm. So each will have your own comfortable rhythm with the breath and with the movement. Really focus on how that spine is moving, is working, is extending and flexing. Each of the individual vertebrae of the spine. Remember, the neck is part of the spine as well. Let's do two more. And then rest for a moment and walk your feet back together. Just standing, hip width, tall, just balancing. Letting the breath settle. And then stepping back out. Dog wags the tail. So same as we did when we had that wider stance. Pelvis stays parallel to the ground. So you see that knee gives a little bit, that knee gives a little bit. Just soften the knees and the ankles. And then you're just freeing up. Letting that spine wave side to side. And even though we're wobbling side to side, moving side to side, still keep lifting, keeping that spine long. And using the ground, so you're almost like pushing into the ground there. And you can go a little bit quicker, you can go a little bit slower. We can start to maybe bring in a little bit more movement through the shoulders. Lateral flexion, this side-to-side movement of the spine, is something that really we need to constantly make sure we have that flexibility to be able to do this. Otherwise, everything can get tight. So remembering, just slowing it down, remembering working on that 3 dimension of the spine. We're doing rotation, we're doing flexion and extension, and then we're doing lateral flexion and lateral flexion through the whole spine there, including the neck. Let's do our little new washing machine movement we were just chatting about on Zoom. So with a washing machine, you tap the heels alternately into the ground. So it starts to create that vibration, really quick vibration all the way through the body. You'll feel the legs, all the muscles in the legs. What you might notice is if you've got any tightness in any particular muscles, you don't feel that vibration as much through the muscles. So maybe you're a little bit tighter in one calf and maybe you don't quite feel the vibration there. So maybe you just need a little bit more vibration through the calves. Can you feel that translating or transferring all the way into the upper body as well? Or is it blocked somewhere? Do you want to shake your wrists out a little bit? And then we'll come up onto the bubbling spring, breathing in and let go. And you can use that exhale. So we can take a full breath in. You can use a vocal exhale, breathing in and let go. Breathing in and not falling backwards. Breathing in and let go. And breathing in, let's do one more, breathing in and let go. Lovely, shake it out, shake, 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 shake. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side. You can obviously still face front. We're going to do a lunge position. So we want to make sure that your knee stays over the ankle. You can have this front foot just ever so slightly what we call internally rotated. So you're not turning the foot out, you're just slightly turning it in. And in fact, think about almost like the middle toes going forwards, rather than quite often you have that big toe going forward. So the middle toes are going forwards and that knee stays in line. So watch that the knee isn't dropping in or out. As I said at the very beginning, if there's any pain, if you're struggling, just make the movement smaller. This is not about forcing or pushing or straining. It's about good quality strength adding with a little bit of flexibility. So we've got that front foot facing forwards. That back foot is stepping back there. And we're going to take the knee towards the ground. When we've got the knee towards the ground, watch this knee doesn't come too far forwards. So you might want to get a little bit more of a wider stance. So you're literally just dropping that knee towards the ground. Now, if that's challenging, just stay a little bit higher and just have sort of like that split stance. If you can take it a little bit further back, you can get your knee lower. Also, just take this back foot slightly out from hip width. So we're just going down into a lunge position. You're going to stay in that position, but keeping tall through the spine. On the knee that you've got forwards, we're going to do a little bit of lateral flexion. So you're just going to bend to the side and then you're going to have a little look behind. So you're going to rotate behind. So you have to be really strong, really grounded, really connected to the ground through that lower body. And then come back to center, and back up to standing. Now, if that's really, really challenging, you can do just a short stance, a shorter stance. You can do a little bit of bend and a little bit of twist. But we want to get that back leg. So when you are twisting, when you're bending or side bend and twisting, we get in that nice lengthening, encouraging that length through that chain, through that hip and all the way up to the opposite shoulder. Let's go to the opposite side. So slight internal rotation of that front foot. Step back. And when you lower down, make sure you stay tall. So you stay upright, I'm not leaning forwards here. Step back. If you need to step back a little bit more, step out a little bit more, step back and out. Lower down. So really ground first. So it's almost like you're pulling that front heel back, pulling that front foot back foot forwards. Nice and tall. Little bit of lateral flexion, so bending towards the side and then looking round. And then coming back to center and stepping up, giving the legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to do the same. This time we're going to hold the position. I want you to breathe, so make sure you're breathing. If you end up holding the breath or you lose your balance, just come out and just come back to center. So this is not, again, I really stress this, it's not about forcing and pushing. I want you to be able to breathe through holding the position. I want your face to be relaxed through holding the position. But I'm just going to give a count of 10. If we get to 10, that's great. If you get to 3 and come back, that's absolutely fine. But we're just going to hold the position as we're breathing into that position. So we go with the opposite foot again, the foot we started with. Slight internal rotation. Stepping back and slightly out there. And then when you're in that position that you feel is comfortable, lower that knee down. So the spine, so we stay upright in that upper body. Then we have that little bit of a lean over to the side. So we've done our lateral flexion and rotation. And stay there, breathing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center safely, step up safely. So you're not throwing yourself to the front and to the back. Let the breath settle. And then we'll go the other side. So step back. Obviously make sure when you're stepping back that you're not stepping back onto anything. So do look first. Slight internal rotation of that front foot. Make sure the knee doesn't come with that, that the knee stays over the ankle. When you're comfortable in that position, when we're balanced, lower that knee down. Again, make sure that knee stays over that ankle. Slight side bend and twist. Have to be strong through that lower body. And we're going to hold, keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, keep tall. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate back to the center. Bring yourself forwards and have a little shake out. That should feel quite nice in the hips, in the spine. And we're holding that position so you're getting that flexibility and the strength. I like that little side bend and rotate first. It's quite nice to get that lateral flexion and to rotate. Let's just do that, but just with a staggered stance without going into the deep, without going into the lunge. So just if you're around and you just have a little bit of time where you can just go, right, I'll do a little staggered stance. So you've got your foot slightly internally rotated, knee forwards, staggered stance, leg back a little bit, just a little side bend, and it's almost like you're just reaching behind. I'll just go and grab that over there. So a little twist, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to center. Step forwards. Just a staggered stance, split stance, not going into the full lunge. Foot slightly internally rotated, knee over the ankle, side bend. Have a look behind. And hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then come back to center. Step forwards and have a little bit of a shake out. And then go back, hip width apart, bit of knocking. Really easy, gentle knocking. Make sure you get your feet hip width apart so you're nice and solid on the ground. Keep tall through the spine. Make it easy, effortless. Slow it down into water waves. And take a rest. We're going to do a tiger, slightly different to how we've done it before. So with the tiger, hands, claws, there's your tiger claws. I'll show you first, or you can follow as we go down. Going down, when we get down to wherever's a comfortable position for you, I want you to tilt forwards and then just roll the spine back up. So we're just doing a little tilt forwards and then we're rolling the spine back up. So down, and then when you get to wherever's comfortable, you're tilting forwards. And then using the legs, pushing through the legs, rolling back up. Head comes to balance on top of the spine at the last minute. And again, down. Tilt forwards. Roll back up. Now again, keep at the comfortable depth you can go to, but can you, down when you tilt forwards, just drop onto the ground and then push back and roll back up. So it's just a little rock forwards. We've done it before where we've done the crawl and press. So down, maybe we can get a little bit lower, but again, we're not forcing or pushing. You're going to rock forwards, back, and then roll back up. Slow, deliberate movement. Really using the legs to stand tall. Let's do 2 more. Breathing is easy, face is relaxed. And take a rest. Shake out. Step out to shoulder width. 1/16 of a squat, so just going back to our spinal cord breathing, so sitting back and then breathing in, breathing out. Next inhale, we're just going to rotate towards the side and breathe in and out down one side a couple of times. Still using that pelvis, so still tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. So you breathe in and out a couple of times, then you breathe in and then out back down the center. And just have a reset down the center. And then you rotate to the other side. So a couple of breaths in and out. And then just finishing off with a couple down the center. Take a rest. Let's go wide, so shoulder and a half width apart. We are going to glide to one side and just rest your arm on the thigh. So I'm not bending over like this, I'm using my hips, gliding and resting. So there's a little bit of that lateral flexion there. And then I'm going to swap sides and swap sides and swap sides, and then you're going to swap sides and bring that arm above the head and then scoop down, lateral flexion. Have this arm hanging rather than up here, that's easy. Hang it over the head so you're getting that nice length through the rib cage, through the hip, and drop down. Oh, one side is so much easier than the other. Or maybe it's not, maybe you're absolutely perfect. Let's do one more to each side. And then just hanging down, just folding your arms, just having a little hang down the center for a moment. Maybe just having a little rotate to one side, a little rotate to the other side. And then bending the knees and rolling the spine back up. Bringing the feet shoulder width, breath in, breath out. I think we deserve a little bit of bamboo in the wind after all that. Bring the feet together, stand tall. How does the spine feel? How does the body feel? Just closing your eyes. letting the body very gently rock and sway. And the breath settle. And then taking a calm, full breath in through the nose. Bringing all that energy into the body, stepping out, letting that breath go, opening your eyes. Let's have a little brush down. Let's bring the palms together, pressing the palms together above the head, bending the elbows, brush down the back of the neck, front of the body, back of the body. Inside of the legs and your belly. Good, excellent. A little bit more work on the spine, a little bit more challenging stuff, hopefully. Any questions, please do give me a shout in the DMs or email, whatever way. And I hope you have a great weekend. For the weekend, for the Easter weekend, if you're celebrating Easter or just having a little bit of a break. And I will see you next. Oh, it's Easter Monday, isn't it? It's Easter Monday. We'll still do Monday if you're still up for Monday. I shall still be here Easter Monday to do a little bit of the breath work. So have a great rest of the day and thanks for joining. See you on Monday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
You can bring your Easter eggs.